And joining me on the show, Khushbu Sundar, Sumanth Raman, Prabhakar Tamil Rasai, Sendhil, Annamalai, and also Sumaiya Yadav. Sendhil, I'm going to begin with you. School's insensitivity, I would say, has been on display. The school secretary, Shanti, in fact, put out that video blaming the deceased student's mother for the violence on Sunday. She also made some very serious allegations against the mother, alleging that she incited the mob by spreading fake news. How insensitive can the school be? Sendhil, if you can hear me.
Yeah, can you hear me on this?
Yes, please, go ahead.
Fine. Basically, this is one of the atrocious events which has happened very recently with respect to the education sector. Before I move ahead on this, I just would like to put a word over here. Presently, the entire education system, which is being taken as commercial sector, and especially if you really look at that, either it has been running with the politicians or either one of the missionary which has been running across as a profit mode. That's the biggest flaw in the entire education system, which I just would like to put across over this into this board itself. And if you see that, why these kind of things are happening, it's majorly the whole entire system, whether it can be even the NEET, if you really look at that, there are a lot of suicide which are all happening over here. Whole thing, which is I felt it, this is purely a commercial way, which is goes across in the entire education system itself. I really wanted to look at that. How do you change the education system where this can be more about like how it was there about 15, 20 years before, or even about 50 years before, how it was there, which is not on the profit motto. The motto is something now presently, what is happening now, it's a purely how I can make a profit on each and every child. This child can be a commercial value to me. That's what the education system is working on that.
Okay. Sumanth Raman, I was looking at certain reports which highlighted the fact that there was a lot of animosity towards the school management also because of their fee structure and a perceived high-handedness in their behavior towards the surrounding community.
Maria, I think we need to wait for the investigation to be completed. Unfortunately, allegations are being made by both sides, and the police have not been very clear in their communication. In fact, even the DGP, in the statements that he has been making, has sort of, at one point he said, until now, we do not think that, we have not come across any kind of evidence against the school and so on. So I think that and even earlier, 4 days people were protesting, and yet the issue did not, raise the alarm bells anywhere within the police force. It was only on the 4th day that the violence actually broke out. Until then, there had been protests happening the previous day also. So I think that this is an intelligence failure part of the state police, and it is also, first of all, who are those people? You don't go for an ordinary peaceful protest carrying a crowbar or carrying huge implements that are used to break down buildings. I mean, I'm sorry, that's not normal. So clearly, I don't for a moment believe that this is just something just happened. There are clear-cut videos where, the vandalism is certainly not that of an average lay protester.
But Sumanth Raman, again, the question is that this particular school has had incidents of suspicious death. Sumaiya Yadav, 2 suspicious deaths which are being investigated. The investigation is underway. We cannot forget that in the context of this particular school. So there is foul play, if anything, which is being highlighted by the family, and they managed to have that kind of, support from the other locals as well.
Yes, I do agree on this topic, but let me question you one thing. Can we take the law in our hands? First thing, because we have learned and we follow the Indian law that would say that we should not take any law into the hands. And how could people do it? And who are those people? That is to be identified. There is a code, there is a law, there is a government who supervises and governs all those people who, does the mistake. Definitely the people who are into this must be punished, no doubt about it. But at the same time, If if this happens to one school, no doubt tomorrow it might happen to other school, and I don't know whether it is really genuine people doing, or the social anti-activists, or whatever it is. So that's what
But
my concern
Sumaiya,
about
the question is that the school has to ensure that the family feels that the justice is being delivered here, and that they do not, the family members themselves, Khushbu, are raising questions around the circumstances of her death, discussing minute details of the incident. They're questioning the involvement of the school management, and they're demanding action against them. The fact is that the student was found dead on July 13 near a hostel on the school premises, and they are also questioning the suicide note. So if the family is not satisfied with the nature of investigation, then they have all right to question, and that is the reason why the Madras High Court has gone ahead and ordered the second autopsy.
I completely agree with you. You have to, I can imagine the plight of a parent.
They need closure.
They go through to find their daughter being, no more. She's dead. She's gone. The pain that they go through is unexplainable. You cannot even describe the loss in words. The school, there has been prior allegations against them that is still under investigation. Now this, there has been a huge lapse, the intelligence lapse on part of the police, but at the same time, we also need to understand that we cannot take law in our hands. There has been some incidents where we have seen that there were Facebook uploading where they said that it's, you need to gather in such place, you need to protest against it. You cannot, inside the public, you cannot ask for violence, you cannot provoke them and say it's fine to indulge in any kind of a violence. The girl needs justice. But I would also like to highlight that this is not the first time we have seen a child who has, killed themselves by suicide. I think we have seen it in the past. Why is that we always fail to have a cell from every government where we say the child should feel anonymously, they can call a particular cell and say that I am being harassed, I am being assaulted, I am being tortured, and I need help against one particular school. Why is that we cannot form a kind of a committee which helps these kids? Because I'm sure the child has taken such a strong step, it really breaks, because I'm a mother, and it really breaks my heart to see every time something like this comes up. And it makes me wonder, when are we going to stop? So why is that every government fails to build a cell? We are talking about education system. We are talking about the changes. We are talking about what it used to be 50 years back. Yesterday, everything is commercial. I'm not denying that. But who wants to go to a government school? Even a normal, a very, very common person wants a child. It's a prestige issue that my child goes to a private school. But I am saying that the standard of schools to have to be high, on a higher standard, and the government should take this in consideration as to how we can protect our children. And